Welcome to the first issue of the Average Heroes podcast, where we talk about comic books and entertainment stuff that matters to us. I'm your host, Jason Gomes, and today I'm joined by two of my good friends.
You already know, it's Nick.
Adam.
And today we're going to talk about probably one of the most divisive movies of recent time, probably since its predecessor. Like, the movie's taking the world by storm, and probably not for the best reasons. Batman v Superman. So, like, right off the bat, what'd you guys think of it?
Well, it hurts. It hurts, Jason. I wanted it to be the best film I've ever seen, and unfortunately, it was not. Unfortunately, it had some great ideas that were in contrast with a lot of terrible scenes. And overall, it made a really messy film. I just found that a lot of plot lines got crammed together, and there were less Batman vs. Superman and more Dawn of Justice setup. And overall, that affected both. I was not emotionally engaged with Batman and Superman, and I thought that arc was weakened near the end because of the setup that was going on.
My thoughts on it were that from watching the trailers, I knew it probably wasn't going to be the best. The trailers didn't get me into the movie at all. And
Really?
I felt like they gave away a lot in the trailers.
Yeah.
I liked a lot of the characters, but I also didn't like a lot of the characters, not because of the acting, because the acting was one of the best things about this film. Every character was great, even characters I didn't like, the actors were amazing.
Even Lex Luthor?
Yeah, he was a great actor for what he was supposed to play. The character itself, I did not like.
The son of the Joker.
Yes, we'll get into that. So there was a lot of great acting, a lot of great scenes, a lot of god-awful scenes, a lot of scenes that just took way too long. So all in all, I gave it, like, it was, there were scenes, half of the movie I liked, the other half, there was a lot of scenes that I just didn't really enjoy, that made the movie feel a lot longer than it should have been.
Yeah, I guess I'm pretty much in the same boat as you guys. No one wanted to like this movie more than me. I love these characters. These are my guys. Like, a lot of people love the Avengers, and for good reason. They're amazing characters. They're really happy-go-lucky. But Batman and Superman, these are my guys. The Justice League, my guys. And I came out of this crushed. I absolutely loved half of this movie. And I despise the rest of it. And it's like, I've never experienced that type of emotion watching a movie, like, where I would be, I really, really like this. I like this part. This is amazing. This is incredible. Followed by an immediate drop of huge circumstance. I've never seen anything like that. And it's sad, but only Zack Snyder is capable of bringing me to, like, a level of ecstasy and then, like, a level of just pure depression. And the thing is, like, I would implore most people, go watch this movie. I'd say go watch this movie because it is an experience like none other. You have never watched a movie like this where you can love it and hate it at the same times. Go watch it. There are some good things in it. There were a lot of good things that I liked. Ben Affleck, to me, was absolutely incredible. I really, really, really enjoyed him as Bruce Wayne, and I liked seeing him in the Batsuit. He just looked like Batman. His character is questionable to me. But that is not a Ben Affleck choice. That is a Zack Snyder choice. And it really brings into question, why is he still in charge? Zack Snyder, in my opinion, has no reason to be in charge of anything in this universe. Your ideas sound pretty solid. Zack Snyder is a man of ideas, not very good at executing those ideas at all. And it's tough, dude. There's so many problems with this movie, and it hurts because I love these characters, and it sucks. It really does. Like, let's get straight into it. All right. A Batman that kills. We've never seen that before. It's not unknown to the movies. I'm sure Bale definitely killed in his movies. Like, there's no
Unintentionally, intentionally.
He didn't unintentionally push Harvey Dent up that. Yeah, but there is killing.
Yeah,
but never so blatant. Never so without
brutal
morals, or like, he just didn't care. Yeah, he didn't even look for another option. At least Bale, I would say, was like, it's either the kid gets it or Dent gets it.
Yeah.
Affleck is like, Sure, why not? You got a tank on your back, blow it up. It's all cool. It's great.
Batman's like, oh, my car is impervious to 50 caliber rifles, and you just pull out a Gatling gun and start shooting me. All right, I have a Gatling gun on my own, and just mauls the guy down, turns into the paste, and blows the car up.
And it takes away from such a great Batman. Like, he looks amazing. That suit is like the most true Batman suit we've ever seen.
Oh yeah,
It is incredible. I think Affleck is the perfect combination of Wayne and Batman. I loved when he was Wayne. He was one of the very few Bruce Waynes that I didn't find boring. I thought Bale's Wayne was very forced.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, Batman, like, the whole question is, who is the real Bruce Wayne / Batman? Is he more Batman than Bruce Wayne, or vice versa?
And
so, like,
in this movie, I felt like he was at any time he was the same. He was just Batman.
yeah,
Like when he was Bruce Wayne,
yeah.
he was just so aggressive at this point now. Like he stopped really putting up a face.
But I'm almost, I like that. That's
Yeah, I
cool.
like
He
it too,
doesn't
yes.
give a shit anymore, and that
It came
means something
across,
to the character. But giving a shit and not giving a shit doesn't make the killing necessarily work for me. I get it. Understand he's lost a Robin. He's grieving. He's angry, and that makes him more brutal. But there are ways of doing it. Like, a really interesting thing that I thought was the branding. I thought the branding was enough. If when I started hearing rumors that Batman might have killed in this, I was like, okay, maybe it's by proxy, because usually it's by proxy. Something happens, he just so happens to be there, he chooses not to save you, or he just lets whatever gonna happen happen.
They plant the bomb in a building to trap him, and then the
He
bomb
just
goes
lets
off
it
and
go.
he can't get
Yeah,
anybody.
yeah.
Stuff like that.
So I thought that would be the case. And when the movie started, I was like, the branding. Oh, so this is what they're talking about. Because in the movie, for those who haven't seen, but I'm assuming you've seen if you're listening to this. Otherwise, what are you doing?
There's an article.
Yeah. But they make a point that when Batman brands you and you go to jail,
It's your death sentence.
it's a death sentence. You're going to die. They're going to kill you, whatever. And I thought that was really interesting. I'm like, that is more twisted than actually killing someone, because Batman doesn't really take the blame, but he should. And it's such a good way of doing it. It makes that Alfred speech that got nowhere way more important. That was a great speech. That was a fantastic speech given by Alfred.
My thing is
old
that
man
the branding thing, how if you're branded and you go into jail and you get the inmates will kill you. They didn't explain why they would kill you for having a bat logo on, just because it's seeing the bat makes them mad.
Yeah, or you're the bat's bitch. Like, you've gotten it worse than we did, so...
But the thing is, like, it logically doesn't make any sense unless there's some sort of reasoning behind it, because from what I got from it was that if you go into jail with a bat brand, you're going to get killed. But, like, what does that mean? That everybody else in that prison, not everybody else, but most of those people have been put in there by Batman. So what, this guy got branded by Batman, and it just...
Maybe it's just the mark of the symbol. I don't know.
Yeah.
I understand
that
but I think that's better than having a Batman running around and literally running and gunning. Like, this is a first-person shooter at its best, and goddamn, Bruce Wayne's at the helm of the controller. It's crazy.
But that led to some very amazing action scenes.
There's some crazy action scenes.
All of his action scenes were great.
But, like, it takes away from the character. Like, I know Nick's got tons to say about
Yeah.
this.
Oh, Nick's gonna give it to you right now, okay? I don't have a problem with Batman killing. I don't care about a different interpretation of a character. It's that it has to make sense within the universe. And the universe we have, which I'll get into later with Man of Steel, it just doesn't make sense, and it kind of ruins a lot of plot lines that could happen.
Yeah.
For example, the beginning of the film, we see Jeffrey Dean Morgan as his dad. Okay.
Great choice.
Yeah.
Absolutely great choice.
He'd be a great choice for Thomas Wayne Batman.
Yes.
Yeah.
And essentially, this Batman was a Thomas Wayne Batman. And what that means is this Batman will go and cross that line and kill you, and he uses guns. He doesn't care.
And the problem with that is if they do a Flashpoint movie at any point in time, there's not going to be a shock factor to
Exactly.
a Batman that runs around with a gun.
It's not going to have any impact, and it doesn't even make... Yeah, it's going to be like, okay.
You're going to feel like you're seeing the exact same Batman that you saw before.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just another actor.
Exactly. And on top of that, how is the Joker alive? You got to ask that. How is the Suicide Squad function?
Oh, they're in love. Batman would never kill the Joker. They just
Okay, what about Killer Croc? I mean,
They're
that
in
thing's an
love,
ugly
man. They're
killing machine. Why wouldn't he?
absolutely in love. Love knows no bounds.
Killer Croc is a very special creature.
Yeah.
He's very
adorable.
strong.
I'm pretty sure he would have
he's
killed
very-
that right away.
He's a very durable creature. That's the thing. Maybe because we don't know too much about it, maybe in the Suicide Squad he's a newer character just coming up. Maybe he hasn't been there for a long enough time. Maybe Batman's tried to kill him in the past, but since he has that healing factor and Killer Croc is one of those characters that can just take a beating in the comic books, and he always comes back stronger from those beatings.
I don't know, but
So-
Nick's point's more like
No.
why is there a Suicide Squad?
He 100% makes sense. I understand where you're coming
Yeah,
from.
it's
They
just-
should all be dead if Batman kills people at this
And
point.
you're right, and it makes no sense. Why kill henchmen who really, quote unquote, don't hurt anybody, and not kill the Joker who
Yeah.
hurts everybody?
Especially,
Yeah. But again, so if we look at this as a film on its own, we can't judge those factors. We don't know what happened before this film. And again, that's a problem because this Batman looks very interesting. He's a 20-year veteran Batman, which we haven't seen in film. And it was really interesting to watch him and see what broke him and what made him this way. And I
Which-
think...
Sorry, go.
Yeah, sorry. I think that would have helped if we had a solo Batman film leading up to this film. We could have really got a good sense of the character instead of being, why did he kill that guy? It was like we're all asking each other,
But are you looking for more expedition? Like, I thought that one thing Schneider does poorly is exposition, because he takes a lot of time and dialogue to tell a story.
Or no dialogue. And it still doesn't make
and
sense.
symbolism.
No, but I would much rather have the no dialogue, because I thought that scene is very short and it didn't. I wish there was a little bit more on it, maybe like a little bit of an Alfred thing, but it wasn't. I was okay with it. When Batman walks by the Robin suit,
and just looks at it.
there's
Yeah.
no conversation. But
Yeah.
I like that. I like that he went there, and in your head you're like, that's why. That's why he is the way he is.
Yeah. But
But it is way too
another
much.
plot line that they can't do now is called Under the Red Hood, where Robin comes back from the dead and basically calls out Batman and says, he killed me, the Joker killed me, and you still didn't cross that line. And that what was amazing about that Batman is that Batman does not cross that line.
Yeah.
That interpretation of Batman. I mean, other people have different subjective opinions, but that's the Batman that I like, because that separates Batman from a lot of other heroes. Other heroes don't have a code like Iron Man. Captain America even will kill. Like, it doesn't...
No problem.
Batman strictly...
Captain America's a soldier, so it's
Yeah,
expected,
exactly.
right?
Batman strictly says, we're no better than them if I
He
kill.
has two rules: don't kill,
Yeah. Or
and don't
gun.
use guns. And in this movie, he's really good at both.
Yeah. And again,
He breaks those rules constantly.
you can do that with Batman. You can make a story that makes sense as Batman kills. I'm
just-
fine with that.
Yeah, you just have to work it into
It's
the
just
lore.
make it make sense within the universe. And then that'll bring me to my next point. Man of Steel, it ended with Superman killing Zod. And that was controversial.
But something I agreed with for
Yeah.
the most part.
I personally liked that. I liked
Yeah, I thought it was a brave move.
exactly.
I thought it was a smart move.
Yeah, it makes
the
sense.
the way it played out, I didn't like too much. Just the way he did it, but like,
Just snapping of the neck.
well, just like the whole scene is like, there's a family standing there, they're not moving.
Yeah, he could have.
He could have killed them easily.
He
'cause
could have
he
done
shoots laser beams
anything.
with his eyes.
In this movie, we see him. The first thing he does to Doomsday is punch him into space.
space, yeah.
And with
Which was
Zod,
very smart,
yeah,
first of all.
great move.
Yeah.
Why didn't you do that with Zod for like the entire fight?
It's because his dad didn't want him to do anything.
Yeah, don't do that.
His dad's like, you have super strength. That means you can milk a cow like a son of a bitch.
But you can't save those kids on the bus.
You can't save me. You can get Sparky, but please God, let me get taken by that tornado.
But yeah, so he kills Zod. Obviously, he's a new Superman. And we see it breaks him. Like, he cries after he does it. It makes sense. And it's like, wow, now we get to see Superman shape from this. We get to see how is he going to become Superman after that? Is he going to kill again? Is that what defines Superman, to not kill again? So brings us to Batman versus Superman. They literally ignored it. They didn't talk about it.
Not at all.
It wasn't even covered at all. Like, we didn't see Superman reflect on it.
Not at all. And it almost seemed like he was willing to do it again because
Exactly.
he
I guess I have to kill him. I'm like, what?
put that
Superman,
guy-
man, come on.
but he also put that guy through a wall,
yeah.
multiple
Yes.
walls.
I was gonna say the first time you see him in this movie, the first enemy
Yeah.
he fights is a regular human being that he slams through at least 8 walls, 8 brick walls.
And like,
If that guy's not dead, I don't know like how you would kill a regular human being if that's not gonna kill him.
and you could always play devil's advocate. Like maybe he put his elbow out just slightly in front of the guy, so it was his elbow that was breaking all the walls, and the guy survived. He just took him somewhere else to beat up.
Or he went so quick.
Or he went so quick that the guy got knocked out. But like,
Yeah.
we shouldn't have this question of did he or didn't. It's Superman.
it's Superman.
He shouldn't. There
Exactly.
is no like. If you want to make a Batman that kills, it can make sense. There is a world where that can exist. A Superman that kills also can make sense. But serial killer Batman and serial killer Superman do not work.
Especially when they hate each other for doing that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
When Superman's
that
like,
is-
"Hey, you kill," to Batman, and Batman's like, "Superman kills," and I don't like you, and I don't like you, and that's like,
Yeah.
I don't like what you do. I don't like what you do, but they're doing the exact same thing. It's just one
Exactly.
guy has superpowers and the other guy doesn't have superpowers.
Yeah.
But they do the same things and don't like that each other does it. It literally makes no sense. Like Batman's scene when they first talk, or Bruce Wayne's scene when they're first talking, and I'm sure Superman at this point knows it because he hears the mic.
Yeah, he's figured.
He knows who Batman is, and he's talking about how the Bat Vigilante is just going over him above the law. And then Bruce Wayne goes, "That's hypocritical for the Daily Planet to be talking like that." And it makes total sense because they're both killing people.
That's
Yes.
the only time they reference
But that was, again, such a great scene of
And he hits her.
dialogue.
it. I
But
really liked it.
how much better? So this is my take. Tell me what you guys think.
Yeah, I have something to say about it too. But go on.
Batman. So if Batman was the Batman that we are more familiar with, that does not kill, whatever. How much more sense would them fighting, and how much more compelling would it be if, while they're fighting, when they eventually finally meet up, Batman, they not only fight like physically, but they actually talk to each other.
Yeah, that's my
be
biggest
great.
problem.
Yeah.
As soon as I came out of the theater, that's the first thing I said.
Yeah. Obviously, yeah, again, the fight they had, they literally could have had a 1-minute conversation. It would
And
have
it
been-
solved the whole thing.
Exactly.
10-second conversation.
Exactly.
All Superman had to do, which he even said, Lex Luthor is setting
Yeah.
something up, and then Batman was like, "Not having it,
Yeah.
just not having it."
I also love that Superman was like, "We have to talk," and then literally pushes him like 50 feet away. I'm like,
Yeah.
Yeah, like, how's he gonna listen from down
We
there?
have to talk, fight me IRL, Scrub.
yeah. So, yeah, Batman, while they're fighting, they're having an argument. They're actually having a conversation, and you could see Batman's getting angry with him. He can say that, "Superman, you stand tall and you act like a hero and everything, but you killed. Like, you call me a vigilante, whatever the world calls me a vigilante, but I've never crossed that line like you have." And it can, like, Superman can actually, like, think twice about himself. Not only that, but Batman, you can see the pain in his eyes. Like, when you go back to him looking at the Robin costume, he's not only hating Superman because he kills, but he hates himself because he
Can't.
didn't kill the Joker.
Yeah.
Everyone he loves has died around
that
him.
we know of, yeah.
But the villains live because he doesn't cross that line. And you can see how much he hates himself in that conversation. And like, it just would have been way more compelling to see a Batman that doesn't kill calling out Superman on it.
Yeah.
Getting there, like, that is the contrast. But because this Batman kills, it's like everything's set up for Man of Steel, that he killed Zod, like, literally was just not even, like, talked about again. It would have been perfect
not
to
a
have
thing.
Batman
Yeah.
be the one to call him out on it. And
No.
that's what it was setting up.
Now that you mention it like that, it does make sense that Batman wouldn't kill, because the reason he would hate himself that he's not killing the villains is because, personally, the way I interpret it is that he doesn't want to put anybody through the pain that he's gone through with all the murders that have happened to him. So even if he's killing a bad guy, there could be somebody out there that would, like,
That
he
bad
kills Joker, guess what? Harley Quinn's gonna, even though he's a complete piece of shit to her, Harley Quinn's gonna lose her shit and then she's just gonna break down, and he doesn't want to give people that kind of pain. I get that's really cool and makes the whole non-killing thing a really good background story for Batman. And I've never really thought about that until like literally this moment.
Exactly. Like, it's just
Yeah, no.
And it works very well. Like,
But,
you were
like,
saying.
he never crosses that line, and it's just like
doesn't. But there is elements of what you're saying. And this movie is just elements that are never explored. Batman has a great line in that fight. They barely talk.
yeah.
But in that, he has that line where he says,
Martha. I'm joking.
Martha comes up, and that's important apparently.
Yeah.
But apparently
It
that's
stopped
more
the
important.
fight. It stopped the
It stopped
fight.
the fight. But he says, "You're not brave. Men are brave." Right? I love that line. It means nothing.
I don't get it. I was
It
gonna
means
say
nothing from Batman because, like, what has? But besides the superpowers, these guys are the exact same people.
Yeah.
And that's another problem with this Superman. I love Superman. I can deal with this version of Superman, but it's very, very hard to believe a fight between these two when they're the same person.
He's much better in this movie than he was in Man of Steel. I enjoyed him a lot more.
Yeah, but like my thing is like, why do Batman and Superman usually fight? They have different ideas
Yeah,
on justice.
exactly.
Superman is more of a reform. Even
Peace,
Lex, he tries to
yeah.
reform a lot, and Lex does some crazy shit to Superman.
Mm-hmm.
Messes up his whole entire life for the most part. But like,
Not as bad as... maybe you know a little more than I do. I wouldn't say he goes in messing up his life as much as Joker does to Batman, just because Joker is ruthless to what he does to people.
Yeah.
But I'm sure Lex has gone super far.
Lex's bigger scale, I guess, like presidency and shit.
Yeah.
yeah, but like,
But like Joker will take
Yeah.
your pistol, get,
But Lex put a
paralyze your
hit.
daughter, and like anal
Yeah.
rape you
Oh
with a
yeah.
machine gun.
Lex just puts
It's-
a hit on
it's
like
stupid.
Superman and Batman, and then like the whole freaking universe.
but
is
it always
accurate.
makes
Yeah.
sense in the animated series. It always makes sense why they don't believe it. Like Batman's like, no, I'm gonna do this my way.
Yeah.
It's gonna hurt. It's gonna be tactical. It's gonna be smart, and I'm like, he's not scared to torture,
Yeah.
to do what he wants. Superman would honestly not hurt a fly unless it bit him first, multiple times.
He's a defensive.
You have to piss him off or put what he
Yeah.
truly believes in danger. Superman is about beliefs, he is, and Batman's about action.
Yeah. Batman's action and Superman is reaction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And in this movie, they're both the same.
Exactly.
They're the same guy, just having a whose dick is bigger
Yeah.
contest. The entire
Superman
movie.
essentially is like what Batman is what Superman could become. Like, I don't know. I had problems with Superman in this film as well that we can talk about. Definitely.
Like, Batman not liking Superman is still somewhat justified because you get that build up scene where you see him
Yeah.
just leveling the city and it looks like it's all going to be over. And Batman,
Yeah.
Bruce is there and he's trying
And
to
you
think
get
of
it.
what he can do.
Yeah.
But he knows that there's literally nothing he can do. That's just two unstoppable
Yeah.
monsters wrecking the town.
And
so you
Superman
get why
scares
he's
him.
afraid of him.
Yeah.
Superman, there's no sense as to why he doesn't like Batman, because he's on a smaller scale. Like he doesn't know what he can do at that point until the fight, but he doesn't know he can.
Well, they hint at it a little bit.
I
Like
know what they're trying to get across. They're like, oh, he's brutal. But
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Like that. It's
Superman
just,
snapped the guy's neck when he didn't have
that's
to
the
snap a guy's
point.
neck.
Zack Snyder doesn't realize
Yeah.
what he's doing is the same thing. He doesn't understand that Superman killing Zod and destroying a whole city is almost exactly the same as what Batman's doing in Gotham. And it doesn't stop after the Zod attacks. It doesn't. It happens continuously. For me, that first, and this movie could have been cut down by at least 45 minutes if I had 10 minutes
And
in
then
on Adobe Pro.
40 minutes of more, character development.
Could have
But
been
yeah.
added.
Yeah.
That first scene, not the first. I actually enjoyed the this is a new way of seeing Thomas Wayne's and Martha Wayne's death.
Yeah.
I thought it was really interesting. I love what they did with the pearls, how the gun was like part of the
Mm-hmm.
pearls. I really enjoyed that entire opening sequence from the death to the point where Bruce Wayne looks up in the sky and sees Superman and Zod fighting.
Mm.
That entire sequence of shots
Amazing.
were just amazing. If I walked out of the theater in that moment, I would have told you it was my favorite movie on the planet.
Just a little nitpick, but it doesn't really. It's not something that it ruins that scene. They didn't go into like a back alley. He shot him like out front in the middle of the street.
That changes with
That's what I'm saying. Like, but usually it's about the back alley. But
Yeah.
like I said, it doesn't ruin.
The only
scene
thing
at
I didn't
all.
like in
I
the-
just saw. I was like, okay.
The only thing I didn't like in the first 20 minutes was that whole Batman being risen up to the
Yeah.
sky with the bats. That was the first this is stupid moment in this movie. One of many that came.
It was cool, and right away I thought, okay, this is weird. I don't know why he's flying. I guess it's just like a dream, like him just reliving it.
And 10 seconds later, he says, "Oh, and then that's how my dream ends."
Yeah,
okay.
exactly.
Yeah,
And
the
you're like,
dreams
you're like,
are
okay,
an
and
issue.
Yeah.
Then the next time you see Batman in the movie, he's on the wall like a spider, and you're like, does this guy have superpowers in this movie? It's slightly confusing.
Because he levitated.
Because he crawls across
Yeah.
the ceiling, and then that never happens again in the movie, and it's the only time they don't explain how he can crawl across the ceiling while wearing a heavy suit. It just happens, and you're like, does he have superpowers in this movie? But
Maybe.
whatever. It's just it's nitpicky.
Yeah, but like you go from that amazing 20-minute scene, the solid 20 minutes, like
And it really sets up
it really
Batman's.
sets up such a great movie, and
Batman
then
didn't kill him,
immediately cuts to Africa.
Yeah.
What is it? 18 months later,
Yeah, exactly.
something like that. Cuts to Africa in a scene that means absolutely nothing. Zero.